Well, we made it. We're back on Facebook Live. And this is pretty exciting. For those who don't know Matt Haiken, he is one of the most innovative dealers I've ever met. I believe I speak for Jeff in making that statement too.
For sure.
And Matt and I guess we go back to when I started at dealer.com, or did we go back before then?
No, I feel it was before then. I feel like we met at some of the different conferences before.
Yeah. We used to make the rounds in the the circuits with the PASH conferences before NADA and stuff, but it really wasn't until you were at DDC. Before that, I was a huge fan of the checkered flag content and the video content. I was always checking that out.
Stealing ideas.
Of course. But no, I don't. We didn't meet until DDC.
Okay. And then you were, well, both of you were on the dealer council for the CRM we made.
That's right.
Had some fun times. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Maybe a little too many Bruce Lees on Church Street.
I forgot about those.
That's the point. Too many of those you forget. But,
well, Matthew, for anyone that doesn't know you, why don't you give us a little bit of background?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in the car business now full-time for 15 years. I took over our family's Volvo store in East Hanover, New Jersey in 2005 after graduating school in Washington, D.C. Yeah, it's been 15 years. 15 years. We've had as many as 4 different stores. Now we have 2 Volvo stores and a Lincoln store. We're right outside of New York City. I live in New York City myself. A lot of our customer base works in New York City. They commute to the city every day. We have a lot of customers all over the boroughs of the tri-state area. And yeah, and I'm just a really hands-on dealer, and been involved in many different facets. I was the chairman of the Volvo Dealer Council for about 4 years, and now I'm the immediate past chair. I still sit on the board, but I'm grateful that I don't have to really wear that.
Grateful you don't have to wear a tie anymore.
Exactly.
The first day you didn't wear a tie in life.
Let me tell you, like with COVID and everything, I can't see myself ever putting a suit or tie on to do what we're doing every day. Maybe for a special manufacturer meeting, but the game has just changed so much in such a short period of time. I just can't, I can't even fathom that. It's just a totally different business. So I do not wear a tie. I don't employ anyone who wears a tie right now. And I put on a slacks and a shirt like 2 Saturdays ago, just because I personally, I wanted to make sure they still fit. And I walked into the showroom and my sales managers looked at me. They're like, what the hell are you wearing? And I was like, I wanted to see if my pants still fit. So yeah, it's changing every hour, and but yeah, we're definitely going with a more relaxed, casual dress appearance.
I think customers really care.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I want everyone to look good and feel fresh every day, and I'm making sure everyone, if they're I want them to be clean shaven, look good, feel good. But yeah, no, customers do not care right now. No, they could care less.
Just have the deodorant on, right?
Exactly.
Don't stink. Okay.
In Jersey. In Vermont, you guys can do whatever the hell you want.
That's true.
What are some of the current
strong up here?
And I'm not familiar with Jersey too much, but what are some of the current laws? Are you guys wearing masks or anything like that?
Yeah,
what are you doing at the dealership to sort of help the customer at ease?
So Jersey is still essentially The showrooms are shut down.
Still.
They're allowed to do remote and internet and curbside sales. I'm not an attorney, and I can't even keep up with the state association emails because I'm just bombarded with them. But you know, I still believe that we are not allowed to open up in the traditional sense, and that's changing daily. But I still see the emails coming in from the state association that we need to lobby to reopen. My mindset during the entire pandemic was, listen, we are going to be there for our customers. We are never going to shut down. One of our locations is in Bergen County. We're literally 5 minutes from the GWB. And there was a state executive who was this is right when the pandemic happened, who said, we're going to be shut down, totally shut down. And I was like, we are never shutting down. We're going to be there, whether we have to sit in the service department and just answer phone calls or answer leads. We're going to be there for our consumers. That was just my mindset. I was not, like, it's un-American to shut us down. I was going to be there and try to sell cars no matter what. And that was my initial mindset when this happened. And then, like, our journey for the month of April, and now we're going to May, it's just evolved, and it's changed a million times, and we're just getting into a rhythm and figuring it out. But we've been open the entire time, and we've been delivering cars the entire time.
Yeah, I've been thoroughly enjoying your story since you got back to work, really. And you know, when New Jersey Governor Murphy allowed sales to be essential businesses, yeah, keeping up with you has been fun because you're figuring it out.
And that's what we've been doing it out. The first thing we identified was, who do I want to go to war with? Who do I need on my team? And I did that early. I mean, I think it was like the first week in March where I was like, okay, I need to identify, we're going to war. Who am I going to choose? And I remember my rep, he literally said, you are out of your mind. Okay. When I told him the people that I chose not to continue to be part of our Prestige family. And that's what we are. We are the Prestige family. And this guy, he said, are you out of your mind? I hope you know what you're doing. Because I handpicked people that I knew cared, had our back, could do everything from A to Z. And these people are very different than the traditional car desk type person. And those people added value to us for a very, very long time. I employed this person because they're great with a Sharpie. They're great with a quick pencil. They're tough with customers. They don't take any crap. I mean, that is totally out the window. And the people that are on our team, and now we're bringing new people into our team. These people, like, these desk guys humiliated them, beat them up and abused them. So if there are any of them out there watching this, call me, because we're looking for people that have been roughed up by old school desk guys, okay? That people didn't see their value. And, you know, it's unbelievable. The mindset and the characteristics of the people that are going to help us be really successful. Because one of the biggest challenges we're facing now is how the hell do we scale what we're doing? Because we're 5 people at one store, 5 people at another campus. We're doing everything. We're trying to organize drivers. Where do we get drivers from? We're trying to, you know, so I spent a lot of time figuring out how I'm going to scale it. And the common theme is, I am not going to scale it with the people that were on our bench prior to the pandemic. You know, we need people that are, you know, come from hospitality, come from a different background and have a different mindset. And
Well, the title we had that you had a staff of 20 and now you're down to 5. Is that exaggerated or is that pretty?
No.
pretty
So,
hard?
I mean, we've been hiring and bringing back people. So when we started, let's see, in East Hanover, we have our two, there are sales managers. But in the past, these they're two ladies. They were internet managers, BDC managers, and now they were my top draft picks. They're my sales managers. So it was them, me, and one finance manager. It was the 4 of us. And then we were like, okay, we need drivers. So we started bringing in drivers. So now we have a team of, I think, 6 drivers. And these are drivers that will bring the cars to people's houses and pick up service customers. But we need more of them. And it's funny, it's really, they have a network, like the valets and the drivers, like, oh, I have a friend who's got a clean record, he's got a car he drives, and we're bringing drivers in. And now we've brought in, we have 2 salespeople, we're bringing in a 3rd. And again, these salespeople were salespeople that started as valets out on the lot. And I just remember the old desk guy who's no longer with us. He's at Down the Road Motors. He would be, they can't sell cars. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to broom everyone. And these are the guys now that are doing, they've been here 2 weeks. They're already like at 30 cars a piece, these guys. They're young, they're fresh, they're not going to bullshit anyone. They're tech savvy. I give them a challenge and I say, figure it out. And we were talking earlier, like right now we're trying to figure out how to schedule. We need a shared scheduling app, and there's a bunch of apps out there. I don't even have time to figure out the app. So I'm like, team huddle, we need a scheduling app. Check out this one. It's a free app. It's online. Someone figure out how to implement it. We need people that can figure out problems, that are good with technology, that come up with new ideas. And these young people that we have on our bench right now, they could figure out anything, which is awesome. We're figuring out new ways to sell and deliver cars on the fly. And that's one thing. We needed a team of people that could work together. And if you were maybe talented in one aspect, but you're not a team player, like, no way. Like, we can, based on what we're going through, we're working around the clock. It's a high volume, high pressure, deadlines. You need a team that gels and gets along. So,
So how many people do you have on the showroom floor delivering cars or answering leads? And
so on the showroom floor right now, let's just say East Hanover, I have 3 of these product specialists. Okay. Our call center is they're not in the building. So we have an outside call center, helping us. And then we have like a million different processes that we're playing around with to make sure that we can get to all the customers, and we cannot get to the customers. Okay. But a finding that's crazy is because of the way we're doing business, the customers are still hanging out there waiting for us, which is insane. I had a customer, and I don't know, I think like in our email broadcasts that we're doing or our online marketing, I think I have my cell phone out there. So I'm getting calls from customers like, hey, we've been waiting for you guys for a week to get back to us. But we're still hanging in there, and we spoke to every dealer in the tri-state, but we still want to buy from you. And the finding is, I come in and I have the morning huddle. I'm like, team, I just want to let you know you're only competing with yourself, because these customers are still doing business with us after the fact that we couldn't get back to them. And we tell them, like, listen, we're a small team. We're working remotely. We've got a lot of customers. We're just trying to work through it. Thank you for your patience. They're like, no problem. We want to buy from you.
Matthew, why does the customer want to buy from you guys so much? Like, what's going on? You think it's just, is it your marketing, or is it just the people that you've got there? Of course, it always comes down to people, Is it the competition? Are they not doing things right? Are they still trying to do things old school? They don't have different programs in place. They're not implementing them correctly. What do you think's really caused you guys to stand out?
It's not marketing, because we talked about earlier. I mean, every dealer on the planet, you go to their website, it's contactless, home delivery. They're all using the same template, okay? Just copy and paste. They don't even, some of these stores are not even open for business. They couldn't deliver a car if they tried, but their website says, so that's
just slap some web buy on there and slap a button on and you're good, right?
Exactly. They're good. Check that box.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think the people that are employed are empowered. Okay. They're empowered to make decisions, and that comes from, you know, how we do our deals online, how we send quotes over. No one has to check in and check with a manager and this. It's simple. Our pricing methodology is there. We try to be as negotiation free as possible, but that's not really a reality, especially on the new car side, when we're hamsters running on a wheel and the manufacturer has us jumping through hoops for no profit. So obviously we make deals on the new car side of things, but you know, we can give them a quick pencil. We don't have to screw around with pricing. We give them a good pencil for the first shot, and then we work from there. The trade-in process is really easy and transparent.
Yeah, how are you doing the pencil process? How are you doing the trade-in piece?
Yeah.
How are you doing all this remote if people can't come to the dealership?
So we work with our technology partners. So you know, for our digital retailing tool, we use IllumaQuote. We call it IQ, and that process works for us. You know, there's so much talk from the manufacturers. They're all, just so you know, like the valuation of digital retailing tools just went through the roof, because they're all sitting there and they're like, what should we buy? We need to buy one so the other OEMs don't buy one. And then, you know, and these people, they're making these decisions and they've never sold a car in their life. They don't know what digital retailing is. Nobody does. But there's no tool out there that is, okay, the customer just goes on and buys the car. That does not exist. And that, I don't see that even as an opportunity now. It's a game it's a game that you do together. You send the quote with the customer, and then you see how they react, and you walk it, you take the journey together. So we really love our partners for digital retailing, because it's not linear. There's so many different areas you could go into and do it together. So and then we've come up with our own process. So you have the digital retailing tool, and then you have to figure out your own process, how it works in your store. Most of the dealers out there, they just put on their website and that's it. They set it and forget it. But that's not how it works. Some dealers can go over the process through video chat. Some do it through text. Some do it through email. Some do it in the store.
How are you guys doing it?
We're using every method, and we're just we're experimenting with it. You know.
Way you
what's go ahead, Alex.
You shared so you've been doing a lot with texting lately, and you shared some of the text message back and forth that you were having with your customers, and one of the things that I took note of was the tone from the customer. And being that you're in Jersey and right next to New York City, you've got some, you know, stereotypical assholes out there. But they, the tone of the way they were talking to you was very open. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like, it's very different than like, you've presented numbers to me at the desk, and now you know, you're not peeling them off the ceiling after you're giving them numbers. And I was impressed.
Well, there's no fun in not being able to do that, Alex.
But they enjoy, like, the new process allows you to be really honest and open, and people are so tough behind a text message. They're so tough. And then you meet them in person and they're so sweet, or you do a video chat, they're so nice. But the same thing for the nerdy internet typical car salesperson that the desk guy humiliated, okay? Now you get them doing digital deals with text messaging, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid that the desk guy would come to the tower, load up his list. The internet guy would be petrified to go face to face. But now in this, like, we could be honest with you. We could take a shot. Here's the number. You're crazy. Ha ha ha. What you have in mind. I feel that we could be tougher with the customer, and the customer could be more honest with us on their feedback, because there's a lot of customers that when they think your pricing methodology is crazy, or they don't like you, or they don't like the value for the trade, some of these customers, they're very scared and intimidated themselves. So they just walk away and you lose them forever. But in this method, the tone is honest on both sides.
So you're saying you're texting with the customers. I guess you're using text to sort of help them through the process with a Luma quote. Who are you using for text, and does that include chat as well, or is it just straight up text?
No, so no, we use Podium, and we use Podium for chat, text, payments, video chat, and there's a million competitors out there, and they all do the same thing. But yeah, texting is.
What do you find using more of? Is it more text based? How's video working now? I think that's a new feature, because
video is interesting. So video is great for, and this is just me off the cuff. Video is great for we're working our portfolio. A lot of people lease new vehicles in our market. Video is great for these lease customers. We already have a relationship with us. Before we did the video chat, a customer said to me, "I don't believe this is you, Matt. Is this really Matt, the owner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." They're like, "FaceTime me right now. I want to see your face."
And
so I'm like, "Okay." So it's true, but video is good for that. I think for the new customers, until we really build up some rapport with them, texting is cool. But we're changing this every day. It's on the fly. We're trying new things.
But your salespeople, the people in the sales staff, they're getting the text messages, because you said you outsource the response to leads. So you've got a company that's a third-party company, I guess. It sounds like that's what you said. That's responding to leads. Maybe they're finding out this customer's hot, and then you're engaging them through text, or maybe they're chatting off the website. Who's manning the chat and the text?
So we're all doing it together, and then we have an internal group. So we have many different methods, right? So we get emailed hot alerts, and we file those in our email in different buckets. And then we got so many email hot alerts, they wouldn't stop coming in. We did a group, everyone text chat in Podium, okay, that outlines all the hot leads. And then we all picked our favorite emojis, and we emoji who's on what. And then every day we just go back, and we just go back, and we just go back, and it just keeps building and building and building. And that's what we're trying to figure out, is how the hell do we maintain this and schedule all this stuff and figure it out.
About how many customers would you say are being worked at any time?
I mean, you want to show that heat map that we took a screenshot of? It's between the chats, and also I use this new, what do they call it? Envision. Cox came out with this new product. I don't know if it's out for everyone, but I keep Envision up all the time as well, which monitors our website, Kelley Blue Book, and Auto Trader. I mean, at a given time, it's crazy how much action in between chats coming in, chats being answered, people on our website, people clicking on BDPs on third-party properties that we pay advertising for. There's a lot going on, and we're not special, right? So this is going on at so many stores, but the legacy dealer just doesn't know how to look at it. So they're sitting there saying, nobody's coming in the door. There's no business. Let's just shut our doors and wait till the pandemic's over. People don't know how to look and see and do this. And I don't blame them, because there's data overload. But yeah, I love that screenshot. That's pretty cool.
Let me explain what's going on here. And I would love to open up your account, Matt, but it would reveal a little too much.
I don't want to do that. They're already after me, guns blazing, trying to break my kneecaps.
So yeah, this was Matt's market last month. This is in his Illumi tool, which in all transparency, it's my company. There's a heat map in there that shows all the places your customers are based on where you're delivering quotes. And when you start to scroll in on like Matt's store, this thing explodes, and like you see, I call it the Haiken pandemic, because it just looks like some nastiness going on. But just where he is peppering the country with and pulling stuff from is unbelievable.
Matt, what would you credit to being able to pull so far out of the market? You said earlier it has nothing to do with marketing, but
yeah,
have you shifted your marketing in any way?
No, we have dialed it back big time, and I dialed it back in the first week of March. We've dialed it back a lot. We love used cars, and we sell used cars, and we sell used cars everywhere. And man, I love used cars, and that's why I get so frustrated with what's going on in the new car business. It's just sometimes it's not even fun, where used cars is fun and exciting, and so I think a lot of this is both new and used cars. So I think if you see a lot of these outliers like Seattle and California, that action is probably a used car.
It definitely is. You would never sell a new Volvo outside the marketplace.
No, I mean, yeah, we sell. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, but for we probably have a lot of our customers that are quarantined in Florida for new cars, and they're trying to pick out the new car they want when they come out of this.
Just curious, what is your new to used ratio?
We're always usually 1-to-1.
Okay.
So 100, like let's say at the big store.
That's still really strong. I mean, for Volvo.
Yeah, and sometimes, we've grown over the past 15 years from a single point Volvo store to having 4 stores, and sometimes I just get so frustrated on the new car side. I'm like, what, if those other stores, if I was really just a used car super center, man, I could do some crazy stuff. I could make that entire map red.
Well, what's stopping you here?
I don't know.
Hey, question for you. I see someone brought the question. It sounds like, of course, you got different ways that you're doing this. You're really getting everything dialed in. You're using, basically you've been open to using different programs, software. It all comes down to the people that you have and how, you decide to pick the right people that's going to be up for the challenge, people that can figure this shit out. What about, someone was asking about contract signing, so once you've got the customer dialed in, you've used the products, you got the price, how how are you getting the car to the customer? Are people coming in? I think you got what, the curbside
So
pickup?
we do home delivery and we do curbside.
Okay. What's curbside pickup on a car?
So basically, all right. So when I say it's like there's a Shake Shack and they're just killing it across the street from a house, right? So, and this is where I stole the idea from. So like the restaurants that are doing express, amazing. I think Chipotle is killing it. We get chopped salads every day. They're killing it. So I just literally took square tables and they're in front of our entrances. Okay. By the way, we redecorated our entire showroom. I got rid of all these sales desks, and I was just like, it was like looking at dead bodies on the floor. It's like, I don't want these sales desks when these guys are not here and they're home. So I got rid of all the sales desks. We put our high boy tables out there. We do lounge, car, and we kind of spread it out so it's a big open living room. But for express curbside, we have tables right in front of the doors. Okay, so the paperwork, because and it all depends on the manufacturer. With Volvo, you need wet ink, so the paperwork is in a folder, disposable pen wrapped up on this table. Okay, and then the cars are lined up right in front of the showroom. Detailed gas, seats wrapped, steering wheels wrapped, the gear shift knobs wrapped. The screen in the middle has wrap on it. And literally the customers see their car, they go to their car, they pick up their envelope. If the curbside, it's all highlighted where to sign, but one of our associates could also, like through the window or glass, say, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. They sign it, they leave it. The temp's already on the car and they drive off. It's curbside delivery. And we get,
really?
Yeah. And we're doing so many deals now, and our drivers are going to so many homes that we're trying to push some more curbside just because we don't have the manpower to do all these deliveries. But I am not allowed to schedule deliveries because I'll deliver everything and I'll go anywhere. And so for when the customers, if I'm involved in the deal and they're like, when can I get it? I say, I'm going to put you in touch with one of my store managers, and they're going to schedule delivery because I would say you can have it right now and we drive to Florida with the car. But yeah, that's what we're doing for curbside.
Very cool.
Awesome. There was a little debate in the comments a minute ago about whether or not having a college educated employee in this day and age makes a difference. I can tell by your face.
I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, you take a typical high school or whatever they are. I mean, they grew up using all these tools. They live on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, they're going to be great future for automotive, these people. I mean,
You're looking for a technologically savvy individual.
It's
not about the education, right?
No, education is meaningless. We need people. You know, they need to be like interacting with people and engaging with people and having fun with them, because at the end of the day, that relationship still matters. We're not selling cars because we're the cheapest price. Okay. We're having fun. We're excited. We're connecting with the people. We're professionals. We know our product inside and out. We know what we're doing. We know this process. We're reassuring them. So yeah, but you still need to have energy and passion and be excited.
Do you mind if I share something about? I'm not going to disclose any numbers exactly, but do you mind if I share a phone call we had a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
You called me and told me that people were not really pushing hard on your pricing anymore, and basically we decided on that call, like, all right, well, we should probably jack up all your prices, huh? We put a little rule in real fast, and how's that working for you?
Yeah, I still think we need to maybe do another bump again. And it was interesting. So like we were flooded that month with first-time buyers. And these are not college grad first-time buyers. These are professionals, make a ton of money, that lived in areas like New York City, Hoboken, Jersey City. They just never thought they needed a car. They used Zipcar on the weekends to go to their vacation home or Ubered, wherever. And these people's expectations on payment and pricing were totally different than the average grinder, consumer, working dealership to dealership. And these are the customers that were just taking every deal on the first pencil. And that was really the epiphany. I said, okay, we need to raise our prices. You know, when the payment of the car is less than their monthly for their garage they're storing it in, we've got an issue.
Well, that's unique for New York.
Yeah.
But noted. We'll make sure that.
It's like the old desk guy, you know, on their pre-interview with the customer, like, what are you driving now? What's your monthly payment? Where do you live? What is the monthly payment of your garage? That should be on the pre-interview.
It's funny.
I'd like to go back to trades a little bit, because that's always been a pain point whenever we talk about digital retailing. Of course, any dealerships that are, you know, thinking about going down that path. And you guys have sort of really figured out so many things. What is your process for the trade-in? Are you driving the cars? Of course, you're going to test drive. Or more people bring them in? Or are you going to their houses and then test driving it from there? How many cars are you putting numbers on sight unseen? You know, taking the customer's word for it. And, you know, if it's not what it was supposed to be, then we'll renegotiate. But step me through that process. I'm really interested in that.
We do everything sight unseen. We'll give them a number immediately. We ask them about the car. We ask them for pictures. And if you look at our chats, they're inundated with trade pictures. And we put numbers on the car. You know, if someone really screws us, it's really win, lose, or draw for us. We haven't really been hurt. When you sell used cars, that's what you have to do. I mean, and we have the retail mindset. So everything we take in, we're going to retail. It's probably a different process for a dealer that maybe has more of a wholesale mentality of their inventory on pre-owned. But for us, we want everything. We want to retail everything.
I wouldn't see why it should be, though. I get what you're saying, but you know, I know just from my experience that I've actually been able to lock in quite a few deals just because of the fact that I gave them a solid number over the phone or text, whatever it may be. You know, I'm the only dealership that was willing to give them a solid number. Maybe it didn't come in quite as high, but look, this is what I'm going to give you. As long as your vehicle is everything that you said it would, because I wouldn't expect you to take purchase of one of my vehicles, you know, that was over embellished. You know, if my car isn't the same thing what I said it would be, I wouldn't expect you to take delivery of it. You know, and I think if you establish that, the consumer's going to have the same mindset. But yeah, I still, you know, how many things are going to change through this pandemic in the automotive industry, you know, specifically at the dealership level? How much is really going to change? Are we going to go back to the old ways of doing things? Sure doesn't sound like you are.
Honestly, I say this, like, if it goes back to the old way of doing things, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. I really don't. I'll go work with you guys. You know, honestly, we're having
got a job here, man.
We'll come up with a position.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a crisis. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. There's so many people out of work. I feel horrible for them, but we are having the most fun we've ever had in the car business, my team, and we're working hard.
And you really are, you really were number one number one Volvo store in the US last month.
Yeah, last month.
Had you hit those numbers before?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I came at like Alex said, I came out of retirement to get back on into the sales floor. But when I was running the showroom, we were number one for many years in a row. And then as I opened up more stores and my time got diluted, we dropped into the top 10 in the country. We were always top 10. Last year we were still number one in CPO, and I really have a love of used cars and CPO, so I spent a lot of time pushing that. But it's a crisis and it sucks, but we are having fun and we're changing the game every day and we're learning so much. And we are just trying to figure out how to scale this and how to sustain this, because we can't afford to grow our footprint anymore. There are no margins. When you look at what we pay in real estate, what we pay in the old personnel, what we pay in sales manager, F&I comp, what we pay in floor plan expense, the manufacturers have such a wholesale push mentality. There are no margins. And then you think you make a margin, but that margin's a receivable, and you don't get that margin for 90 to 120 days. And if you screw up and dot one I and dot one T, you don't even get paid that receivable. It's such a joke, and sometimes I just get so frustrated and I just go on a rant, and then I see the valuation of these third parties, and the valuations of these third parties have market caps greater than any of us in the business, and their market cap is truly created off of our spoilage, our inadequacies, our waste. It's such a joke. And man, it's such a joke. I could rewrite the whole game, and I don't know. I could go on a rampage.
Yeah, you're gonna have
every dealer.
You're gonna have one of those. You're gonna have one of those companies calling you up here soon.
Please call me. I would. That is my dream. That's my dream. When I look at, and we're not dropping names here, but I look at the market cap of a third-party pre-owned, whatever you call it, and
Jeff might pronounce it Vanna.
Exactly. and you look at their market cap, and they don't make a profit, but they exist. They truly exist off of the fact that we supply them the inventory, because we as networks can't absorb what we put into the system, and we give it to them. So they create a better customer experience, and their market cap is through the roof, even though they don't have to make a profit. I mean, it's just there's
no reason why any other dealership can't do what they do and actually do it a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. And the manufacturers too.
Yeah.
But now they're calling up the manufacturers because they pay more for cars than we do, and say, hey, we want your cars. Give us your cars. And the manufacturer's like, the dealers are fat and lazy. They were successful in the past off maybe service parts to the new car department. They don't really give a shit about used cars. Let's make a deal and give them our cars. And it's just, the whole system is a joke. It's a joke. Every part of the system should stay within the house, should stay within the real relationship. And it's insane. There's so much waste and spoilage. But again, all these industries, they're living off of our backs. I mean, we've created so many little monsters in so many different pockets. Listen, there's a lot of dealers that are anti-Musk and Tesla, but I mean, he's a freaking genius. I mean, because it's just, he's a genius. It's unbelievable. And he just plays with us and the market, and everyone. I mean, everything down to advertising, right? New car advertising. All the manufacturer does is they get us to advertise on their behalf.
He gets away with everything that we'd love to get away with, and we could if we wanted to.
100%. I've never seen a Tesla ad. You know, but we can't get out of it, right? Because the advertising agencies, the sports arenas, they rely on us. We look at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is like car manufacturer central.
Yep. Every commercial.
Yeah.
Man, Matthew. God.
Sorry. They're gonna.
Man, I just love how you just taken an initiative to just get everything so dialed in. Even though, you know, it sounds like it's initially it's sort of a hodgepodge of everything, you know, technology wise. But the biggest thing is you got great people. I'm sure everyone that's working for you is ecstatic to be, probably ecstatic just to come into work because they're having so much fun and being able to carve out something a little different than the typical.
It's got to be. It's not the money, I'll tell you that much, because the unemployment is like insane right now. So
what's the average volume of sales per salesperson right now?
So that's a good question. So I mean, if you look at the volume that we did last month, it was like 50 cars a person. But as we brought in, as we're bringing in some new associates, that's trying to figure out like what can they possibly do?
50 deliveries per.
I mean, because it was really like last month, it was just 2 managers, myself, and a half a month of a product specialist for the volume that we did. But now looking forward and figuring out, well, what can, based on our new selling system and how we deliver cars. Remember, the specialists, the product specialists, they're in front of their computer and their phone. Like they're not going to someone's house. We don't have time for that. So trying to figure out what is sustainable, what can they do? I mean, I would throw out a number of maybe 30 cars. My store managers would probably say they need to do 20 cars. But I think if we're bringing someone in, they're going to have to deliver 30 cars, like sell 30 cars for us.
So you think we ever go back to having, 20 salespeople?
No, I don't like no, it's crazy. I might need to hire some actors and actresses to stand in the showroom on a Saturday. We're closed on Sundays, but we need some like greeters to handle a Saturday because we would get swarmed on a Saturday. But how do you tell people we don't want you coming into the showroom? You don't know what's going to happen. But no, I don't want them, and I can't afford them. I can't afford to have all those salespeople sucking out all that money, even if they're 70% commission based. It's not fun for them. Why should I employ a salesperson who their quote is 10 cars a month? So on Tuesdays they get a haircut and then they get their shoe shine and then they shoot the shit. I don't have time for that. If someone's not coming in and working crazy, and then it goes into the whole facility. Like honestly, we're sitting in a closed showroom. It's beautiful. The lights are off. We got great music. We have car lounge. But honestly, we really should be in a conference room somewhere. It's like this. When I think about our dealership and where it is, and the amount of real estate and the amount of money we spent imaging the building, that makes no sense whatsoever. There's so much to think about and change.
Yeah.
Because it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it sucks that something like this has to happen for so many of us to try and figure it out and dial it in.
This is how it always happens.
Yeah, you're right.
So you have, response to the market twice in the last decade that created the way for dealership websites to be taken seriously and digital advertising. The last recession put pay-per-click on the map in a big way. So, this will be the one that allows retail to happen anywhere. You know, I hate to call it digital retail because I hate that freaking.
Oh, I do too. I agree.
But retail happens anywhere. It's anywhere retail. So
but the one thing that we need, and then we need lots of things. We need a way to be, and people are gonna like write Saturn and all this shit after this, but we need a way to kind of be negotiation free on the new car side of things, because that if we were we're essentially negotiation free on pre-owned, okay, and it's an industry norm now, okay, and the consumer accepts it, okay. Us being horse traders on the new side of the business is so archaic. And we have competition laws and we have franchise laws, and they are phenomenal. But we need to figure out a way to be negotiation free, because it makes no sense for us to kill each other and give away new cars and have a race to the bottom on new. It's just a waste of time and energy. And with the old desk guys going to Down the Road Motors, anyone could do it. It's a waste of time and efficiency. And we need that. We need a way to really get our motor vehicle and our contracts e-signed, okay? And we need to fix that hole. And then we could be super, super efficient. Super efficient. But the new cars, we need to come up with a solution for that. And then we gotta get contracts done on DocuSign or something like that. I mean,
isn't there a temporary new car solution on the horizon? I mean, so many dealers are going to be out of new cars soon.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you one of them, Matt? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, yeah, I think come a month and a half from now, inventory is going to be really, really tight. I'm going to use another word, okay? So subscription, all these subscription companies folded, okay?
Yeah, quickly.
They all went because they couldn't make it work. Their margins didn't make sense. But the silver lining in subscription was negotiation free, and it evaded the competition and franchise laws. So subscription died as a result of the pandemic, right? They all folded. They couldn't make money.
I think it was dying before that.
Yeah, maybe. But I just think we gotta figure out a way to be negotiation free on new cars. I mean, We're spending so much time and energy. The customers are out there, they're shopping, they're looking at our cars, they want to buy it, and then we play let's make a deal. It's just bullshit. And then we all kill each other and we give it away. It's just bullshit.
Well, the only example that I can argue on with is being a Benz dealership. We still have the opportunities to sell the G-Class at about 10 to 30,000 over sticker right now.
Wow.
So
yeah, how many of those are you getting?
Well, if I had more, I'd probably sell more, but not many.
But that's an exception. And when that happens,
for sure,
we should enjoy it for as long as we can.
We do.
But eventually that runs out on everything.
For sure.
And man, it would be amazing, because like when you don't make that new car deal, your veins pop out of your neck. Like, how did I not make that deal? What happened? There's so many different things. You spend all this time and energy worrying about that deal versus actually geeking out over the product. Which color should I get? Which wheel should we get? So then the person on the other side, if I'm selling you the car, it's just like, let's geek out over the product. Let's go after it. Let's try to get you the best, coolest car. In the past, it's been not that. It's not a product advocate. They don't geek out of the product. It's, okay, who's the slickest negotiator? Who could get the customer to give us the last opportunity, the last shot, so they don't go and buy a car at Down the Road Motors.
Hey, Matt, I got one question I want to get in, or one last one at least. So how often are you using your CRM these days?
It's so embarrassing. The CRM has become.
It's because you're just too busy or what?
No, it's just such a legacy tool. So our CRM has essentially become our DMS, and we still have a legacy DMS. So now we have a legacy DMS and a legacy CRM. So we're doing all this. We're doing all this cool stuff. We sell off our website. We send digital deals through our digital retailing tool, and then, the customer texts us their license, their insurance, their registration. But then we take all the data and we put it into our legacy CRM, and then we push it from our legacy CRM to our legacy DMS. It
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It definitely exposes a lot of holes. And, our legacy CRM provider, they'll be like, well, Matt, we could do all that for you. Yeah, you can, but you're doing it the same way you did it 15 years ago. The same exact way you did it 15 years ago. Text and chat has changed a lot in the last couple of years. Collecting online payments has changed a lot in the last couple of years. Desking deals and showing someone a worksheet has changed a lot since the Foursquare. And, Alex and I, we know this from, and you know this too. You can't, what is the word? You can't take training wheels off of art. You got to start from scratch. There's nothing they could do with this legacy CRM to improve it. It's got to be a new technology, and there's going to be so much new stuff that comes out of this. But man, those legacy providers, they're still making a ton of money.
They protect their turf quite well.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you still are using the CRM, keeping your
notes
and different things like that in there. But but you're not using it to actively help sell the vehicle.
Not really.
It's just a record database at this point, which that's what most of them are. Well, Matthew, man, we're coming up on the air. I can't,
comments.
Anyone's joined us. Yeah, there's so many comments. And
you've got some, you got a fan club, Matt.
Oh,
yeah.
I need it because let me tell you something. In Jersey, I don't have a fan club, so the positive feedback that's going to give me some energy because I get so many. As you guys, as everyone knows, our business. One thing I love about it is how competitive it is, and everyone's knocking and competing and. Fighting over customers. So yeah, there's good comments. Thank you everyone for the positivity.
There's one I want to share with you in particular. I think
sure.
In this one, but Christine says she needs a cigarette. It's that good.
Thanks, Christine. Thank you.
Leave it up to Christine.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything else you'd like to throw out there, Matt, what would it be?
Let's do it again. This is changing so much. I will have a whole new update for you guys next time we do this. And let's do it again.
We'll get you in the books for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like next week after everything changes again. Right?
Tomorrow everything's going to change. My team knows about me. I'm going to come in with a new idea how to do something. We'll rearrange the furniture. We'll figure out something new. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Have a great weekend. Take care.
You too.
All right.
Stay healthy.
Bye.